Hello and welcome to FatbossTV. We're back.
Hello.
We are back. We've been on a bit of a month break. We've been on holidays and...
I went camping, Lawrence. It
Yeah.
was brilliant. And then I played lots of League of Legends.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, actually.
So yeah, we are back and today we are looking at WoW. We're actually looking at WoW content. This is the first time I've even logged on for WoW for a long time. But we are looking at the 5.4 PTR patch, and with this video is sort of like a general overview of all the content that's coming in that patch and all the individual features, and basically our sort of opinion of that patch. And what's sort of we're just going to cover everything in that patch.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So, first off, the biggest thing in 5.4, really, for any PvEers, which I imagine most of you are, the new raid, the Siege of Orgrimmar. So you've been doing some testing on this, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done pretty much every single boss on the PTR so far that has come up for testing, and a lot of the encounters are pretty fantastic, to be honest. And it's really, really fucking weird, like doing encounters and fighting bosses in Orgrimmar.
Yeah, I imagine it would be.
Like it feels really, really strange. This is usually the place that you go AFK or you go to the auction house or whatever. You're now fighting bosses in there, and it's really, really weird. Like there's a dark shaman encounter, and he spawns in Garrosh's room, and you have to pull him out, and you can fight him like wherever you want in Orgrimmar.
What,
pretty
it's
much
like Shannox, but anywhere.
Yeah,
in
you can
Orgrimmar
pretty much fight him wherever you want in Orgrimmar. I mean, some sections are like closed off
Yeah.
until you kill him, and then you can move on and whatnot. But like, you can take him into the auction house, you can take him into the bank.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it's really bizarre. For Alliance players, it probably wouldn't be, but for Horde players, I think it does feel very, very strange. This raiding tier does have 14 bosses. There are 14 bosses in it, so it's a relatively large tier. It's one more boss than previous tier. But so far, all the encounters I've done so far seem pretty epic, to be honest. I can't lie. They do seem very, very good.
Oh, that's good. That's excellent.
And there are new mechanics, which is always fun.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
It's not just going to be the same shit move out of shit.
Yeah.
Although some of the encounters are kind of like that. But then you don't really expect anything else. That sort of PvE in a whole, don't stand in shit. So yeah, what I have seen so far, I mean, on the PTR itself, during the tests, it has been pretty bad with loading screen bosses and stuff like that. It has been really bad. But it always is on PTR, to be fair, so you don't really expect anything else. But the actual encounters and stuff like that seem really epic, and I'm very much looking forward to do them on live.
Yes.
Surprisingly, I am actually really looking forward to do them. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Might even see some guides.
Shut up. Moving on to the next thing, which is the new raid difficulty that have been coming out, which we've been asking for a new raid difficulty for a very long time. However, they've gone in the opposite fucking direction and decided to do a flexible raid difficulty, which isn't necessarily bad. So basically what they're doing, it's designed for a pre-made group of anything between 10 to 25 people, and the difficulty will be adjusted to the amount of players present. So say if you had 14 people, it would be easier. Like, the numbers you'd have to do are probably less than if you had, I don't know, 21 people. It's literally, oh, we only have this many people for a raid, let's just throw it in there. The difficulty is like roughly between Raid Finder and normal, and that's the same for the loot quality. And the way the loot is done is similar to LFR. So you just get given gear, or you get given fuck all. But you can also you can use bonus rolls, and it will, of course, you've got that specialization thing for bonus rolls as now, which is really, really good. There's no minimum item level requirement or role restrictions at all.
So you can pretty much go there with any setup and any characters.
Yeah, you literally just sign up as people, not as roles. So, like, it's mainly for, like, groups of friends and stuff. Also, there's achievements for this, just like normal heroic. So maybe, like, they've said for the meta achievement for this next thing, you can do it all on Flex if you wanted to. Which I'm not too sure about, but we'll talk about that in a second. And it is on a completely separate lockout. So, a lot of things about this, and there are a lot of good things. There's also a lot of bad things about this, personally, as a raider, but...
I mean, initially, how I see it, how I look at it at least, is that the reason why Blizzard have introduced this is because if you are a 25-man raiding guild and one night, let's just say there's a bizarre incident and only 20 people can arrive, at least you guys can then go and do the flexible raid difficulty instead. Now, I believe this can also be done cross-realm, so you might even be in a situation where... you have 10 people, but one of your mates wants to come raid with you. He's just started playing the game or something. You can then add him as well, and then you can go do flexible raiding. You're not necessarily going to get the same loot as if you did normal or heroic, but it's a completely different raid lockout, and then that gives you the option to go do that. But the bad thing about it is that I can't really see it working.
Well, the thing
mechanically, I can't really see it working. If you're going to tune an encounter for 10 or 25, it's still pretty difficult. Like, for example, let's just say there's a boss that sends out 5 balls of slime on 25 man. if you're going to scale that down to 10, then it'll be 2 slimes or 3 slimes in some cases. I mean, let's say we're talking about putricide, something like that.
Yeah.
Where it send out as many slimes depending on how many players there are. Now, how are you going to tune that for 11 people?
Well, what they have said is that all the spells will be adjusted for the amount of people that are there.
So they're going to send 2.5 slimes out.
I don't fucking know. But the thing is, because it is supposed to be fairly easy, it's not going to be like, oh no, that isn't right. Like, it'll probably just give you the piss easy version. But the thing is, it's going to be slightly harder than Raid Finder. And so instead, you can't really go AFK in there. But it's supposed to be a fun thing to do with friends. You can't have a fun time in looking for raid unless you are trolling people, which is very fun in all fairness. But it's something that you might want to do, I don't know, like on a Friday night. No one's got anything to do. There's like 12 odd people online. Fuck it, let's just go do flexible difficulty and have a laugh. And also, it's a good place for people who are just starting to raid, who have done looking for raid, because looking for raid is nothing to do with raiding. It doesn't give you any idea of how raiding works. If you just started raiding and you want to try out raiding, you might be able to join a flex group, and then you'll get an idea of how it works out, like when you're taking breaks, who you're listening to, all the shots and all that, because it is a lot to learn, and it's something to get used to as well. So I think it's a really, really cool idea. What I'm not too happy about personally is the raid achievements part of it.
Yeah.
The fact that you can get the I'm happy with it like having its own achievements. That's absolutely fine. But the fact that it's going into the meta achievement as well. Like, you don't have to go in there to do the meta achievement, but you can, like, get the meta. Yeah, because, like, the meta achievement is supposed to be really, like, well, at least back in the day, it was really fucking difficult to get. Like, they were really it was a massive pain in the ass to get the meta achievement. So it's kind of making it so it's not as much of a big deal anymore. So maybe something less for people really to go ahead and strive to. That's the only problem, that I think. So... But it is, either way, they did say it's better than Raid Finder because you can get mounts and shit in there as well. Yeah. So, like, it's got all the same stuff. It's just
I think
it's
a step forward, and I think it does open, like I say, it does open the game for newer players so they can help learn their shit a bit easier without,
like, being all stressed out because it's a big boy raid. This is just a little raid for you guys to go and chill out in.
And especially because it's on a separate lockout as well. So in a way, it's like an extra raid finder, but a little bit more serious, maybe.
Yeah, and of course it has somewhat better gear as well, so that's always good. Now all they need to do is make a Heroic Plus achievement. Heroic flexible raiding, which is better than Heroic. Like, if you die, that's it. Done. That'll be good.
That's what they need to add. They need to add more things for hardcores.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll think about that.
So that's flexible raiding. Also, what is coming out, which I think... I mean, I don't really know too much about it. You've had a look at it.
I've had a look at it.
And we will be covering this in other videos, probably coming out within the next few days. You're watching this the day this was uploaded, which is the Proving Grounds. Now, the Proving Grounds is going to be a solo scenario which you go in on your own to take on waves of enemies.
Yeah.
Now, there is 4 different difficulties. So there's a bronze difficulty, a silver difficulty, a gold difficulty, but there's an endless difficulty, which is... so epic.
Yeah, it is very, very cool, and you have to see it in the video. But like, basically, when you go in, it's not just for DPS. It's not just for healers or tanks. It's for all 3, and they all have different ones. Like, if you're a DPS, you're on your own, and you've got to take out these mobs before the timer runs out. That's one wave. You've got to kill them before a timer. As a healer, you've got to keep a group of NPCs that spawn with you alive, and you've got to be dispelling, and you've got to be like moving out of shit. Like, there's some mechanics where you have to make sure they're above 90%, like you have to heal them above 90% to get rid of a debuff. There's stuff like that in there. And as a tank, which is the one I haven't actually managed to get onto just yet, but apparently it's all about defending an NPC, picking up mobs, and using your cooldowns at the right time and stuff like that. So really, it is actually amazing, once again, for people who want to get into raiding. It's ridiculous.
Because it's going to teach you how to use your class.
I did the DPS one. I did the bronze and the silver. Like, the bronze is basically, this is kind of what you need to do in this area. This is how it works. Mobs spawn in and you kill them. And then the silver one is kind of like, these mobs do some funky shit. You need to react to them. And then gold is just like, look at all this shit we can throw at you. It's so good because you need to, like, each different wave... It has, like, I think there's only, like, 5 or 6 different sets of mobs that you can, like, get. Like, so you might have, like, one healer and one, like, guy who stuns you or something. But, like, it's where you have to counteract all of them at the same time. And it teaches things like kiting and, like, switching targets really quickly. So it is actually a really good thing to be able to do. And I think it's, like, especially for new players, going into here will teach you a lot about what you need to do, even in raids and stuff like that, which is awesome.
And I know we keep talking about new players, but the thing is, with this endless... difficulty that you can put on. This is for the hardcore players. This
Yeah.
is going to be awesome. There's going to be, I can just see it now, there's already going to be like ladder rankings for who's got the highest in Endless.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be one class that's going to be stupidly overpowered for it.
Well, the thing is that it doesn't even matter if, like, oh, I've got the best gear, because all your gear is scaled down to challenge mode level of gear. So, like, it isn't anything really to do. Well, it is a little bit, of course, because you also get like effects on like legendary stuff and all that sort of stuff. But regardless, it isn't really to do with gear. It's all about player skill, which is really, really cool. It took me ages to do it because I'm so bad at the game because I've played in so long. I didn't have any add-ons, Lawrence, but it's really, really cool, and it's definitely worth at least going and check out. And it's a very, very good move by Blizzard to bring this in, because even if it's another thing to do. How far can I get in Endless? Or,
yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is super, super awesome.
It's going to be very, very interesting.
So
and this, we will be doing a separate video for this.
Yeah, exactly.
So just keep a lookout on the channel, and that will be there sometime soon. Now, there's a new island.
Yeah,
in
the
PTR.
Timeless Isle. Very strange. It's an island off to the east of the Jade Forest, and there's a lot of powerful mobs on the island. Like, I actually haven't managed to get to the island yet, because the PTR has been completely crap, but from what I've read and seen about it, it's basically a lot of, like, really powerful mobs which drop epic loot, bind on account gear, pets and mounts and fun toys, which is a bit weird, and much more, they say.
What is a fun toy?
I don't know, maybe it's like a train set that you can piss off your whole raid with immediately.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so hopefully more shit like that. It's filled with secrets and mysteries, which is a bit weird, and they say many of which dynamically become available to explorers. So keep an eye on your mini-map while on the Isle for information on nearby events. So it's like they're going to be dynamic.
And there's going to be like
things
live
going on.
events happening every so often.
Yeah,
which
it's going to be really
It's
weird.
going to be pretty interesting.
So, like, maybe that is somewhere that you can, like, go and hang out with and like, do some really cool stuff. But also, there's 5 new world bosses on that island. 4 of which are celestial dragons, and one other one is a bit odd.
You also need to kill these ones for the cloak legendary chain as well.
I think so.
So
I'm not
yeah.
sure. So
You're
either
going
way,
to be dragged over there at some point anyway. So while you're over there doing your legendary cloak quest, then
you might be able to have a little
you might be
look
able to
around.
look at this shit as well.
I will go on to this if I can get onto it on the PTR, and if it's actually any good, there will be a video up of it. But if it's a bit shit on the PTR, then don't worry about it. But do keep an eye on that. So it does sound really interesting.
It's just another thing that they're adding to do outside of raiding and outside of PvP for that matter, which is awesome. I mean, obviously they first came out with the Brawlers Guild. That was sort of the first major thing. But in this patch, they're bringing you out 3 things.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, you could argue that the flexible raiding is raiding itself.
Yeah.
But Proving Grounds and this new Timeless Isle thing looking to be pretty fucking sweet.
Now, people on very, very low populated servers, hooray for you, because they are bringing out something called a virtual realm. Now, basically, virtual realms are several realms. I'm pretty sure they're going to be the low populated ones, all fused into one realm. So you're going to have the same auction house, you're going to be able to group up and do quests and dungeons and raids and PvP and all that shit. You can join guilds together. Basically, everything that you can do on a server with anyone else in your server, you'll be able to do it on these other virtual servers. So basically, they're giving these dead servers, which have like 200 level 90s, and they'll throw like 60 of them together to make like one half-functioning server.
Yeah, I think the main reason why they've decided to do this is to tackle the problem that people are having with low populated realms, such as like realms like Crush Ridge on EU that have like 390s or something ridiculous. And basically people are almost leveling up on those realms just so they can either go on the black market auction house because they know they can get anything there for like absolutely nothing, or people are going there and then inviting other people on other realms like busy realms so they can go and do their dailies or farm particular mobs for coins and stuff like that. I think they're tackling that problem.
Well, yeah, that, and of course, like, say I was a new player, because a lot of these things are marked as like new player realms. Got tonight and it's like, oh, I could really do trying out some raiding. Let's see what the raiding scene's like. It's like, there's nobody here, Lawrence.
Exactly,
So, like,
yeah.
at least it should tackle the problems of low populated servers. So that's a really good move. I can't really see the problem with it too much, to be honest.
I mean, like, my only problem with it would be is that it sort of removes the whole point of picking a realm, because they're just sort of throwing all realms in one realm. I don't see why they don't just merge all of them and just call the new realm something else
Possibly.
instead of
might be
a
an idea.
virtual realm. I don't understand how that would work in terms. I mean, what if suddenly one of the realms got really, really busy? They just kick it off.
Well, that'll fuck up all the guilds as well.
Exactly,
And
everything would become fucked. So I don't understand how that would work, but
It's a little odd.
We'll see how it works out and see how it pans out for them.
Now, on a retarded move by Blizzard, they've decided to add an in-game store. Why? Why would you do this? Right, initially you'll be able to buy XP flasks and lesser charms of good fortune in the store for real money. Actual money. Later on, Ghostcrawler said you can buy items for transmog, mounts, pets in the future without logging out of the game. And he said items that increase player stats will never appear in the store. At least that's one fucking good thing about it.
Yeah.
If that actually sticks
if
or
they
not.
added the ability to like buy power, then the game would just turn into Diablo and it wouldn't work and it would be horrible. But I mean, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I mean, recently Blizzard announced that they lost a load of subscribers, and maybe this is their response to it. It's like, well, instead of getting new people in, let's get the current people to buy even more shit. I mean, at the end of the day, Blizzard is it is a business. They are here to make money. And if you can't buy power, I don't see the big deal out of it. If someone wants to go buy an XP flask and lesser charms because they can't be fucked to do dailies for €5 or however much it'll be, then let them. That's what I think.
The thing is that the fact that they put lesser charms of good fortune on the store, it's like them recognizing that the charms are nothing. There's nothing good about getting them apart from the fact that you need them for raiding. It's not. Oh, these are fun to get. These are a good part. This is like an intrinsic part of raiding. You need to go and do these in order to do this. It's like you could just go and do your dailies and everything like that, or you could just give us a bit of money and we'll forget all about it. It's so shit. I can understand the XP flasks thing because like if I was leveling up my 60th ult and I couldn't be fucked to keep leveling it, then that makes sense.
That makes sense, and also I kind of understand why they've done like the XP flask and stuff like that, because really, I mean, you don't really want people. They kind of understand that some people do actually buy a whole different account. I mean, I have before.
I've done it loads
just to do recruit a friend, just for the experience bonus. The experience bonus from the flask is what 100%.
Yeah.
And is that still level 90 or not?
I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way,
100% is still a lot of experience boost. It's not as much as
like
recruit a friend.
I wonder if it stacks.
Yeah, that would be very interesting if it stacks actually. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where I stand on this.
I think it's a good idea for Blizzard, but it's also like the scummiest thing in the world. Really,
yeah. Blizzard's been a bit scumbag.
You're already paying like X amount of money a month to even just play the game, and then they're just like, if you don't want to play the game as much, pay us some more money.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I understand that.
Now the thing they're saying is that you can like buy these mounts and these pets, of course, in the future without logging out the game. Like they've done this as well on the Blizz store before, and like most of which. Like, quite a few of the things have been going to charity and stuff. Now, my only problem is that they're going to be designing things strictly for the store, which is removing things from the game that you can get legitimately instead of just buying it. That's one of my concerns. Cause
yeah, they might be taking a bit, I mean, like, for example, like 5-mans that used to have mounts, like some of the TBC instances and stuff like that. They are maybe pulling that away from the current 5-mans or other ways of getting mounts and stuff. So I understand that argument. Actually, I think that's a very strong argument. We'll have to see. I mean, in the new content patch, there is going to be a shit ton of mounts, and there's actually going to be quite a lot of mounts from the raiding tier as well. So that'd be. But yeah, only time will tell. I don't think it's necessarily that bad, but I don't.
No,
it's a little bit scumbag though.
Yeah, it is scumbag.
I think maybe the time would be better spent on trying to get new players in rather than.
Well, the new expansion's coming out soon.
Well, they're going to announce it, aren't they?
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll have to wait for that. So to wrap up this video, that's pretty much everything that's coming out in 5.4. Some of the things we're going to cover in separate videos as well, because we sort of...
Yeah, I really do want to show you the Proving Grounds.
The Proving Grounds.
And maybe the Timeless Isle, if it's actually any good.
So yeah, so look around the channel. It's great to be back. Sorry it's been so long since we uploaded a video, but yeah, we're back now.
Yes.
And who knows what will happen in 5.4. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.